Hey everybody, it's Dorthy Routt with the Routt Home Team here in San Diego, California. And if you've been thinking about purchasing an investment property here in San Diego with the thoughts of turning it into a short-term rental, meaning, an Airbnb or a VRBO, there's a couple things you should know. So last year, San Diego officials passed regulations requiring short-term rental hosts to hold a license. Now, the new regulations also stated that only 1% of the total home inventory in San Diego City can be a short-term rental. We have around 540,000 dwellings, which sounds like a lot, but that means that only 5,400 permits are allowed. And if the number of applications exceeds that number, then we're gonna have to have a lottery. Now, however, with Mission Beach, there was an exception made because if you know Mission Beach, it's a huge tourist attraction and a majority of those homes are actually short-term rentals. So they were given a little leeway and a separate cap of 1,100 licenses, which is 30% of their home inventory. Now, applications for permits opened on October 3rd and closed on November 30th. Now, a couple really big things to note are there is no lottery required if, we got two things, if one, you're renting out the unit for less than 20 days per year, or two, you're renting it out while you live there. So meaning that you're renting out a room, you have an ADU, maybe you have a duplex, you're renting out one side. So there are those are two pretty good loopholes in my opinion. Now, keep in mind, another thing to note is that this is for San Diego City and not San Diego County as a whole, meaning that Carlsbad, Oceanside, and other San Diego County cities do not apply and will have their own regulations. Now, a surprising outcome on December 1st regarding the applications for the short-term rental cap actually fell short. So meaning that there was no lottery required for San Diego City. However, the separate cap for Mission Beach did actually exceed their limit of 1,100 applications. So for those who do plan on renting out their entire home for short-term rental stays of 20 days or more, so 20 days or more of the year, will find out on December 16th if they were chosen for a license. Now, some people were hoping that with this regulation, it would help with the lack of inventory we have here in San Diego, and unfortunately, that's just not the case. I wish it was. Also, keep in mind that with the rental market here, we are also lacking rental inventory as well as the rent increases over the last couple years. So worst case scenario, if these homeowners do not get a permit, then they can switch over to a long-term rental instead of selling. Now, we should see how that turns out in the next year, because come May 1st of 2023, this next year, all short-term rental hosts will need a license to operate legally in the city of San Diego. So also, keep in mind, the licenses are good for 2 years. So I hope this helps. Leave me a comment if you have any questions on investment properties or short-term rentals or buying and selling in San Diego. I'd love to help. Thanks.